I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They been Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They been Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
Hola. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the show. What's up, Marshall? It's Monday night. We got to kick the week off right. Here's the plan. I just realized, I realized this morning that I think last week was 208. And there's 52 weeks in a year. 52 times 4 is 208. So this is 209. So I think last week was 4 years. 4 years of the Dreaded Conservative show. We'll do it on 209 just in case I missed an episode at some point. I don't think I think I made up any day that I missed. Peaking? Oh. What does it sound like when I'm... That's because everybody was saying your mic is too low, so I messed with settings. Hold on a second. Let's just drop these down a bit. Okay, now it shouldn't peak. What's it sound like when I peak? It like gets fuzzy. Whenever I get toward the high end. What's an alien? An alien. Anyway, well, you wait. All right. 4 years of the Dreaded Conservative show. Do I have like a round of applause? I don't got a round of applause sound effect. What do I got? Nothing that fits this. Hey, what happened to... Oh, it's right there.
It doesn't matter what you think!
Okay. Anyway. Marshall. It breaks off the end. Okay. Anyway, 4 years. That's pretty cool. So today we're going to talk about the fake ALIEMS King doesn't know about the fake alien. Shout out Fleckus Talks. Check. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It'll just randomly drop out. I think I need to update the app. I think that's why it keeps doing that. My bad. I don't know when it did that. I don't know when it started doing that. So I don't know what all I have to say. We're talking about aliens. Okay? Marshall, what are you counting for? Why are you just counting in the chat? What are you doing with your life? Aliens. We're talking about the fake aliens today. Where was I? The fake aliens, guys. 4 years. Dreadedconservative show. Anniversary. We've talked a lot about the fake aliens, about the space lasers, about the UFOs, actually the UAPs. And tonight we might even talk about some abductions. Some people got probed. There's some probing going on here. That's how I know they're demons, because they be probing people. They're either demons or they're gay. One or the other. But, guys, 2 years ago, ish, 1.5, 2 years ago, remember they said, they did this like multiple times, and I've been following it. We've covered it. Okay, this is like the 5th space alien UFO special, because they keep telling us, well, we're gonna reclassify them as UAPs. What I say, watch, and then they said we're gonna open an investigation on UAPs. So we're accepting all videos, any information you have about UAPs. You see anything weird in the sky? Send us your videos. So now we got crazy people from all over the world sending the FBI videos of their fake aliens and their freaking. Remember the Vegas guy? Remember the guy in Vegas that he's like, I just saw a little man, and there's like a video. There's like this little guy running around in Vegas, and he jumped over the fence and he took off. That was an illegal immigrant. That was not a fake alien. Okay, that was a real alien. Then and I said they're gonna rename them. They're gonna reclassify them as UAP. Open it up to the public. Get all these videos in, and it's gonna be dust on people's camera, weird light effects with the camera lens and whatever camera they're using, or whatever software they're using, artifacts in the photography. And then they're gonna come out in a couple years and they're gonna do a big report and say the aliens are coming, and it's gonna be a bunch of black and white military images of odd shapes and lights. And they're going to say it's the fake aliens. The UFOs are here. Well, I don't believe it. We've talked about Project Bluebeam in depth. People forget, man. People think Project Bluebeam is the fake aliens. Project Bluebeam, they're supposed to put a hologram Jesus in the sky, a giant hologram Jesus. It's going to say, come together, humans. I am God, the space hologram God. Galliums. That's right. And I was right. That whole thing with the Congress meeting up and they're saying, we're going to release all the files on the UAPs. Just give us some time. That's what's happening. They're releasing the files. They're deleting the folders. People are excited. People love their aliens. You know, they want to believe in the aliens. I don't know if I was muted when I said it, but shout out Fleckus for if anybody is a show watcher of theirs and mine, and they're gonna be like, "Why is JS stealing from Fleckus?" I'm not. It's not called biting. It's enlightening. I'm not biting it. I like it, so I'm taking it. I'm borrowing it. We're talking about the ALIEMS here. So no, that's not a typo. Trump drops hints. Oh, sorry. PBS News. This is 5 days ago. Trump drops hints of what's coming in a new batch of UFO files set for release. That's a misnomer. There are no UFO files. They're UAP files. Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Is that the same as an unidentified flying object? Yeah. But see, object connotates that there's actually something there. The reason they renamed it unidentified aerial phenomenon is because most of these videos and pictures, there's actually nothing there. And a lot of them, the majority, they just write off. They look at them, they figure it out real quick. Like, no, that's a light glinting off a rock, off a pocket of gas, and Neptune exploded, and that's a flare from it. No, that's a piece of dust on the lens. You got some dust on you got some smudge on your camera lens. You need to wipe that bit off. That's what that is. So that's not an unidentified flying object because there's not an object there. That's an unidentified aerial phenomenon or unidentified camera phenomenon. That those ones they don't even accept. They're just like, no. Then some of them, it's like a flash of light in the sky. People see the Starlink satellites and they're like freaking out, thinking there's a chain of UFOs in the sky. That's Starlink. So the ALIEMS, what did Trump? This is the lead up. This is before they release. They're out now. A lot of people making videos about it. I'm gonna be watching a lot of this for my first time tonight. I've waited to watch it. Are You Crazy was playing some of it Saturday night. I saw the one they're calling the Star of David UAP. It looks like a Star of David flying around in the sky. Convenient timing for a Star of David spaceship. President Donald Trump says the Pentagon is preparing to release some very interesting UFO files. UFO files is not in parentheses. Only very interesting is. UFO files uncovered by his administration, generating a mix of buzz and skepticism as he hints at new revelations about questions of alien life. The Galliums are coming. Trump started stoking interest. Stroking interest. What the pause? Trump started stoking interest in the extraterrestrials in February, directing federal agencies to release their records related to extraterrestrial life and UFOs. Since then, he has built suspense and tantalizing updates, teasing an imminent release of documents never before shared by the U.S. government. We're going to be releasing a lot of things that we haven't, Trump said Wednesday at a White House event celebrating NASA astronauts. Nastronauts. I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. Yep. Interesting, to say the least. American people deserve transparency and truth about the ALIEMS. Now, as he turns to the sky, the president has struck a similar tone, suggesting answers to decades-old questions may be on the way. February directive on social media called for transparency around alien extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects. Oh, you know why he probably wrote it like that is so that he could get the stuff from before the name change. You know, we're dead naming. UFO is a dead name, but we need the information on You know, we need the information on Bruce Jenner and what the heck's her name? Carrie Jenner, Chris Jenner, Crystal Jenner. I don't freaking know dude's name anymore. But we need the dead name and we need the new name. So we're gonna need that He says, release the UAP files. They're like, just the UAP files? And he's like, oh, don't try to trick me. Also, the UFO files. I want those too. Experts caution against raising expectations. Guys, there's a big hoopla being made here about these aliens, these videos. A lot of people who want to believe think that this is absolute proof. I have a strong feeling that I'm going to go through these videos and I'm not going to see much of anything. I seen one on X, and I think I have it in here, that looks pretty crazy. But I don't even know if that one's in the files. I think that could just be an AI video somebody posted on X. And then people see it, they reshare it. They're like, did you see this in the files? Oh my God. It's not even in there. I don't know. I'm not going to go through all of them. I don't have time for all that. So we're going to watch some collections that people have made on YouTube. That's what I'm going to do. Look, this is from the Department of War. I got it right here for you. Hold up. This is the Department of War. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, that other article, this one. So this is the 5 days leading up to it. Pentagon's not being forthcoming. Whoa. Thank you, Rome. Woo. This is before it happens. Then it released a few days later. This is the website. All right. This is where all the release is. But these are just photos, not videos. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, we got a little black dot. This is a helicopter, guys. This is not the UAP. The UAP is this little black dot right here. That's the UAP. Or maybe it's this dot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's these weird black lines. Nope. It's either this dot or this dot. Oh, look at that. What is that? That looks compelling. Looks like, somebody got some dirt on their camera lens. Looks like a little cat turd in the sky. I don't know. What is that supposed to be? Some jelly bellies floating around. I'll play videos. Don't worry. I know there's videos. I'm just looking at their website first. This is the official Department of War website. Multimedia. Is there videos, photos, photo collections, videos? Well, let's go through the photos first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got plenty of time to talk about the fake and gay aliens today. That's not real. That's not real. No. What is that? No. This is on the Department of War .gov website. I don't know what that is what I'm even looking at. It looks like a drop of water is on his camera lens. And he's taking a picture of the sun or something. Or the actual site photo with FBI lab rendered graphic overlay depicting corroborating eyewitness reports. This is an FBI lab rendered graphic overlay. What does that even mean? From September 2023 of an apparent ellipsoid bronze metallic object materializing out of a bright light in the sky, 130 to 195 feet in length, and disappearing instantaneously. What is it? This is a composite sketch. Okay. Actual site photo with lab rendered graphic overlay, but then it says composite sketch. So this is the site, but this is a graphic overlay of a composite sketch of what eyewitnesses said they saw. This is not an actual picture of the thing. This is a picture of the site, and all of this is a composite sketch overlay. Bullshit. I call BS on that. I'm trying to cuss less, guys, on the BS. Remember, I used to like not cuss all the time? And I'm hanging out with a bunch of degenerates. Y'all got me cussing, but this is about to make me cuss. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Okay, that look. If this was like actually, if this is actually like a real, some farmer is like, what the heck, Janice? Look at that. It takes a picture. Then that's pretty compelling. But then when I read site photo with lab rendered graphic overlay depicting corroborating eyewitness reports, and then I see composite sketch, I'm not so convinced anymore. I think we've properly put this one to bed. We got some more dust on the camera lens. We got some random dots in the sky. Wow. And this is a photo from the moon. We landed on the moon. This is from Apollo 11, mission to the moon. So you're telling me when they were on the moon, they saw some flecks flying around in the sky? No way. No freaking way. It's crazy enough that we even went to the moon, much less we saw space alien dust in the sky on the moon. Where's my phone? Because I got to call bullshit. This is moon landing footage. What you talking about? It is moon landing footage, but what is these 3 dots in the sky? That could be some space meteorites. What do you think all those craters are in the moon for? There's rocks flying around up there. That's likely what that is. Yellow box contains a large area of the original photo in which 3 lights are visible. 3 lights are visible. Oh, 3 lights. Maybe that's the Russian craft that was landing, going back and forth around there. Their reconnaissance rover. I don't know about that one. This one, I have no idea what I'm even looking at. Still from a video that U.S. military operator reported as featuring a UAP flying across their screen. I think it's this little white dot here. This might be one of the old ones that we saw already where there's just like a dot flying around, the Tic Tac. There's a couple new ones that I have seen from this new stuff where there's like what looks like a missile flying through the sky and it hits what looks like a weather balloon. And the weather balloon bounces and comes back and the thing flies off to the side. But it looks like exactly what I just explained it looks like. It looks like a missile hitting a weather balloon. That's not a fake photo of the moon. It's just some lights in the sky. Which could have been lights reflecting off of the Hasselblad glass protective layer over the lens and the light catching a glint from the sun, put some flecks of light in the picture, or lights bouncing off his helmet into the camera lens at a weird angle, and it's causing some lights to be in the sky. That's why they call them unidentified aerial phenomenon, because usually it's just lights in the sky that have a reasonable explanation that isn't ALIEMS. This, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't want to see stills from videos. Just show me the video. I'll get to the videos shortly. United Arab Emirates. What do we got? Looks like what is this? Like a goat in the sky? What are we looking at? Video captured featuring reported UAP. I don't know. Is it this dot right here? That looks like a I don't know. Could be a dang meteorite. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Just above the surface of the ocean. This might be the Tic Tac. We got some other dots. Oh, this is the one they're calling the Star of David one. This black thing right here flies all around the screen. These are stills from videos, so I just want to get to the videos, but unresolved UAP in Africa. I think this is the weather balloon one zoomed in. That looks like a battleship. That's a dot, 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 helicopter dot. Okay, we're back at the beginning. We're back at the beginning. Let's get to videos. Hexeth Kane and press conference. It's not what I want. Intros about files. There's 17 pages. Download all videos. I should have done this already. Where's my dono bar? Guys, thank you for the memberships. Make sure you're subscribed to all that good stuff. I'm downloading the whole file right now. We got a new folder, boys. How many we got in here? What all we got in here? Can I just load all these in? Yeah, we'll just do that. Load all of these into VLC. Opening these files might be harmful to your computer. I hope I can trust. Oh my God, they're going to put fake alien virus technology in my computer. I'll take the chance. Oh, what the heck is happening? Okay, we good? I should be able to skip through them now. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Hold on. Let me fix this. And we can go through all of them right now. I got the file. The VLC. Now, why is nobody crying about all these redactions? Oh my God, the government redacted stuff. Can you believe it? Almost to 6K. We're close. We're close. I think we're like 18 away. Something like that. I just downloaded some more folders, guys. Don't worry about it. Should we go full screen with this? Let's go full screen with this. Just because this is groundbreaking, scientific, awesome stuff. This is very important. We got ALIEMS. We got proof of ALIEMS. All right, let's see this. Ain't got no audio. What we got? This looks like a war video. Whoa, what just happened? Okay, that's him changing camera perspective. So you saw a white light fly in. Then it looked like it blew up the ship, but that was just him switching to a different camera. Now he's trying to track them. We got little swirly white lights. Swirly lights. And you already know what I think. I think it's either the majority of these are going to be odd light things reacting with cameras, or craziest scenario is that it's some sort of weird billionaire tech or foreign government tech or military tech, some weird secret tech that somebody's working on that we don't know about, that's hidden from the government, or the government knows about it, but it's classified, so they're not just going to tell these pilots. It's just like a light in the sky. Or as dang angels and demons, we're about to have the dang holy war on Earth. I don't know. It just looks like a freaking... It's like a firefly. It's just like a firefly flying around. All right. Oh, I got sound. There is audio. It's just super quiet. I hear like a helicopter pilot way back in my right ear. What's up, producer? Okay, they zoomed in on the light. This one's not that exciting. What else we got? What we got here? Whoa. Okay, that one was quick. It's just a black turd floats by. Let's pause it. Okay, that just looks like a missile. Looks like a missile flying by. But I don't know. Maybe they're saying it's too fast to be any normal missile. Could be like some hyper missile. I don't know what that is. Just looks like a rocket. Maybe somebody shot a rocket off. October skies. What we got here? We got a boat. And we got another light. Light flying by. Here's the weird star one. They're calling it the Star of David UFO. It's not really a Star of David, but... Okay. Looks like it's some sort of drone or craft that has either some sort of camera, reflective radar blocking technology or camera blocking technology. Oh, my dang face piece is in the way. A black turd flyby, yeah. And this one... It moves strangely, but again, I don't know the perspective. I don't know what speed the craft is that's taking this video is. Is this from a helicopter? Is this from a drone? Is this from a satellite? How far back are we looking at this thing from? Are we looking down on it? Are we looking up at it? Where's the sun in the sky? There's so many questions that you don't get from this to say that's an alien. We got them, boys. The aliens are here. Dang. Mystery solved. It's no longer an unsolved mystery. We know the answers. The aliens are here. What was the POB? Top front? Do you know that, or are you just guessing? That's what I'm saying. You don't know where you're looking at it from. How far away is it? What's the lighting light in the sky? It's black and white. What kind of camera is being used? What's their shutter speed, their aperture ratio? I need to know all of these things. Otherwise, I have a grainy black and white image off a camera that's probably been mounted on a plane and they haven't changed it for decades of just some weird light thing in the sky. You're asking? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Let's see if it does anything fancy. Oh, it's Etch-a-Sketch. This is the Etch-a-Sketch. I call this the Etch-a-Sketch because it's leaving a trail. For some reason, it's leaving some... Now, I don't know if that's like a lighting artifact of the way it's moving. It's leaving like a behind flash image on what the camera is seeing, or if it's actually leaving a trail behind it as it flies. But it looks like a dang Etch-a-Sketch. See, look. I swear that is an Etch-a-Sketch. I'm really good at Etch-a-Sketch though, so I could like write my name and stuff in cursive. But this looks like a little kid trying to draw with an Etch-a-Sketch. Now, what is that? What is this? Is that a parachute? That looked like a parachute. Is this the most compelling one? Are you crazy? Because I'm not convinced. I remain unconvinced that this is an alien. That ain't gonna do it for me. If the cam is above, this makes sense. What does it make sense? It makes sense what? What that was. This is not give me any solutions. What is this? Saiyan pod? That's a Saiyan escape pod. That's damn Vegeta and Nappa. No, that's Raditz because it's alone. Vegeta and Nappa are coming later. What is this? We got a dust mite. We got a dust mite video. UI small thermal signature. See, it looks like things are exploding, but things are not exploding. That's just when he changes camera lens, it goes and there's a flash. That thing was not a nuke. So it's thermal activity. It's like a red hot spot. I don't know what that could be explained so many ways. Damn thing took off like a bat out of hell. Some rocket type engine making the smoke. Yeah, it looked like maybe one of those people fly around in a perfect personal rocket craft. You know? Could be some rich guy with a little personal rocket. Maybe he's got some sort of radar blocking technology that makes it look like a blind spot in the camera. What's this one? And we just got multiple dots in the sky. Oh, flashy light thing. See, that looks like a Starlink satellite or a satellite if it's looking up. But I think they're going over the water. So this is below them. And it's just like a thermal dot. But with the naked eye, they probably can't see this. I'm guessing they don't see anything there. But with the thermal image, they see just like a little hot spot. I don't know, man. Is this the best they got? Just a little white dot floating around. The best I'll give you is that's a dang angel just felt like going out and racing this helicopter. Seems like we got a lot of white dots, black dots, turds flying through the sky. I don't know what I'm... Where's the one of that picture? Is this the Tic Tac? See, I'm not sure which things I'm looking at. Oh, this, right? Yeah. This is the Tic Tac. It's going to start going zipping around. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. Maybe this isn't the Tic Tac because it's not moving. That thing was moving. Oh, we got audio on one. Well, I'm gonna camera by 5 now. All right, thank you. Sky Force World.
Alpha, call behind east 132.12. 132.12, Alpha.
What are we looking at? I don't know if is it this. Yeah, he just noticed it down here. This looks like it's like a drone or something. It's not going crazy fast. So they're weird heat signature dots. But now I don't know the speed he's... How fast is this thing going? Damn, that looks like an angle of Marshall's mom I was looking at recently. Sorry, Marshall. Okay, more white dots. Say something, pilot. guys. It looks like drones. The dots seem to know they're being watched. Hang out for a minute and zoom away. These are like falling, it looks like. It's such bad image quality. Like I can't tell how fast it's moving. Since all this stuff is redacted, I can't tell the bearing of the thing that's watching them, anything about the camera, nothing. It looks like this thing's moving fast. Oh, wait, at the end there, hold on. It kind of got a little closer to the camera. Get that? Okay, that looks strange. Especially in this last second, you get a better view of it. It has some sort of thing that makes it invisible to the naked eye, or like some sort of reflective material that the camera, all it just picks up is light or heat. Huh. This looks like some weird glob in the sky. Some liquid bubble. Thing was like breathing. What was that? That was weird. Okay, that's pretty weird. I don't know what that is. But that could be anything. That could be like a parachute floating in the water, a trash bag floating in the water. If I'm looking at the water, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the sky. There's some weird bubble thing. That's like Power Rangers, the movie. The purple goo guy. Purple goo villain from Power Rangers. Looks like a cinnamon bun. Jack's hungry. Jack's like, that looks like cinnamon bun. Yeah, that one was weird. The weird flowy bubble one. I wish the crosshairs weren't there. That is not a fiduciary mark. That is added in post. Or it's probably showing up on their counsel's thing, but that's not on the camera. That one's kind of weird. Like three lit up Cheerios in the sky. They're coming in squadrons. It's a reconnaissance force of ALIEMS. How many more of these are there? I gotta see something. That one's pretty cool. This is just another white light in the sky. It's just a dot. Oh, it's flying through windmills. See, that looks like a drone. And we got drones, commercial drones. They could have some dang crazy hyper drones that use some sort of weird propulsion system and fly faster, farther, longer. And then they have some sort of camera jammer or radar jammer on it, and it just shows up as a heat signal. Okay, now we got a white turd. We got black turds and white turds flying through the sky. It's not a turd, it's two lights. But this is thermal, right? I'm thinking all this is thermal. I want to know what they're looking at with their naked eye out their window. Okay, this one's kind of weird. There's two lights, and they kind of like following the plane around, or the the helicopter or whatever they're in. NASA.
Gemini Control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed a tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, Houston 98.
Wait, it's an audio tape? It's not a videotape? NASA.
Unclear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock.
You're not helping my case, NASA, when you lose the tapes. But they got the master tape. But it's audio.
Aye.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
They're like, what the hell you want us to do, Apollo? We're down here on Earth. If there's aliens up there, what do you want us to do about it? It's not like we got a camera flying around monitoring you to look around.
What?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up there, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
But we also have the booster in sight.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, Roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left.
Oh my God, I know what this is. This is old. This is when they discovered that when they pee and they release the pee into space, it freezes and it looks like fireflies. He says it looked like, if he says fireflies right here, this is pee. He's looking at pee in the sky. If he says fireflies, then this is what I'm thinking about. He said it looks like hundreds of little, and I'm pretty sure he's about to say fireflies.
Out about 3 to 4 miles. Hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
3 to 4 miles. A bunch of little particles. Okay, maybe this is something different. But there was one part where he's like, there's hundreds of little fireflies out the window. And they realize that it's the pee. When they eject the pee from the ship, it crystallizes instantly in space, and then it catches the light of the sun, and it was sparkling out the window when they looked out the window, and they said it looked like a bunch of fireflies are outside of the window. And they thought they were seeing aliens, but it was just pee in space. But I don't think this is the same thing. If he says fireflies, then that's what this is. He said 3 to 4 miles away. I mean, it could look 3 to 4 miles away, but it's actually just tiny flecks of piss out your window. Because when they eject the pee, that pee still has the inertial reference of the ship, and so it still just continues to go with the ship. It still has all the momentum and velocity that it had on the ship. When it pushes it out, it gets a little boost outwards, but it's flying outwards and it's flying at the same speed alongside the ship. So for miles, they're just flying next to their piss sparkles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
This is the P tape. I think I've already heard this. I'm pretty sure this is the same thing.
like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now. They're going to polar orbit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Past the pier line. No further.
Roger.
How could you even guess that in space? You have no, have no reference. Like, how can you really guess how far away it is in space? Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the piss cloud. They're just seeing speckles of pee catching the light and frozen crystallized pee droplets that's flying along the ship. Now it's slowly getting farther and farther away because it ejects outward, and it's traveling along with the ship at the same speed but getting farther and farther away. So he looks out the window, it catches the glint in the sun, he sees sparkles flying alongside the ship. That's space piss. That's all that is.
Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side. It's a brilliant body of the sun against a black background, and with billions of particles around it.
Roger, what direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
It's affirmative. Ahead of us at 2 o'clock, slowly tumbling.
Roger.
NASA has the worst audio tapes we can make. Yeah, that's because they're communicating with people on their way to the moon. It's almost like it's not a crystal clear call ever. That's crazy. It sounds like garbage always. Guys, I think this is the P Sparkle tapes, which is not anything new. Which happened also with the last UAP file dump. There was a bunch of stuff that we had known about for years, and then they're like, we're declassifying it. Okay, well, we already knew about this. Yeah, but you didn't have the government approval on it. Now you do, because we released it. But we already knew about this. Just like the Epstein files, just like the MLK files, just like the JFK files. They give you a bunch of new information. And it's like, we already knew all this. Anybody who's paying attention, a little bit of an internet sleuth, already knows all this stuff. We done heard this before. Is this Apollo 7? They said 7. These are the P splecks, P fleckles, P crystals. I don't think we're going to get anything else out of this.
OS91.
Okay, I think what happens is they come down and they land, and then they tell the media about this. They say, yeah, we saw some weird flecks and lights out there. And then one of them says, yeah, they look like fireflies following the ship in the distance. And eventually they figure it out in later Apollo missions, because the same thing happens, and they figure out that's crystallized P glinting in the sunlight. So it looks like sparkles, light particles following the ship. It's P sparkles. So that one's easy. Done. Next. I've been stumped on a couple here, but so far, nothing too compelling. Sure, I can't really explain just random lights in the sky. But we got are we back to the beginning? I think that means we're back to the beginning if we're on the space turd again. Yeah, we're back to the beginning. All right, so we watched all of them. What do you guys think? Are you convinced? In the ALIEMS, debunked. I agree, Marshall. Debunked. Well, that was easy. UFO files spanning decades are released by Defense Department. Cold War reports of mysterious rotating saucers. Dude, that could have been the Nazis playing around with some weird stuff. We don't know what they were doing. They could have been doing anything. They were working on the brown note, lasers, drones, rockets, way before anybody else. Those and other reports of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs, the military's term for UFOs, are described in a trove of documents released by the Department of Defense on Friday. In all, the Pentagon released more than 160 records, citing President Trump's call for unprecedented transparency and giving the public access to federal and military records related to unexplained encounters with strange phenomenon. President Trump said, "The people can decide for themselves what the hell is going on. Have a fun and enjoy." So he's just like, I know people like aliens. Joe Rogan asked me about the aliens. He said people were interested in the aliens. So I gave him the alien stuff that we have. There's not much, but they'll enjoy it. Maybe they'll stop talking about the Epstein files. Yeah, the brown note. Records are posted to a specialized web portal, war.gov/UFO, which will house additional files as they're released on a rolling basis. These files, hidden behind classification, have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said in a Defense Department posting on Facebook as it made the files public. Friday's action, quote, is the first in what will be an ongoing joint declassification and release effort, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said. One document cites unusual phenomena arising during the debriefing of the Apollo 11 technical crew in July of 1969, attributing 3 observations to astronaut Buzz Aldrin from that lunar mission. 1, an object on the way out to the moon. 2, flashes of light inside the cabin. And 3, a sighting on the return trip of a bright light tentatively assumed by the crew to be a laser. Space lasers. Space lasers. Now, that could have been one of those colleges that was tracking them, and they have lasers in their lab, and they were probably trying to send lasers up to see if they could reflect it off the rocket. They were tracking and monitoring the rocket's whole path. Some even better than NASA, because they were just better at it. And these are just universities tracking Russian and American space travel, shooting lasers at the rocket. That's not a good idea. I don't think you should be doing that. You know those lasers that they shoot at the moon to bounce back off the reflectors? By the time the laser hits the surface of the moon, it's 2 kilometers in diameter. It's not a little laser pointer. This is almost a mile. No, kilometers, 2.2 miles. It's like a 4-mile laser. It's a huge laser, and it expands as it goes out. The light dissipates. Is that word? Like a tractor beam? Wait. What up, Yoda? The report goes, and this is from NPR. The report goes on to say that U.S. officers consulted their peers on Sweden's intelligence service about the objects, and they were told these phenomena are obviously the result of a high technical skill, which cannot be credited to any presently known culture on Earth. See, when you say stuff like that, that's when you get people. Is New York Post going to let me read this? Mysterious footage captures peculiar 8-pointed star streaking across the sky. We already watched that. What's New York Post saying? Bizarre 8-pointed star streaking across the sky several years back. The infrared clip submitted by the U.S. Central Command personnel showed the strange-shaped object appearing to float around in 2013, according to newly released files. The footage, which lasts nearly 2 minutes, was apparently shot from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform. So they're looking like a U.S. military platform. I don't know if that means literally like a platform on a base or like military platform, meaning could be a plane. It could be I don't know what that means. We out here. 8-pointed star. So it's not really a Star of David, but some people were calling it that. Arms of alternating length. It looks like a light effect. You know, like what's it called? Like a corona, like a glare. Let's see what this video is. Let's see what Fox talking about on this. Hold on, I gotta fix this for you guys.
Aliens real?
Are aliens
President
real?
Trump isn't ruling it out after teasing a fresh drop of the UFO files last week.
It has a name. The star has a name.
Releasing as much as we can in the near future. It's been in the minds of people for a long time. That is such, they want to find out about the UFO.
And I think he is doing this because of the Joe Rogan interview. Because Joe, of course, you got the president here. You got to ask him about the aliens. And so Joe asked Trump about the aliens, and Trump's like, well, people like the aliens? Okay, I'll give them the aliens. They want the aliens, I'll give them the aliens.
UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material. And we're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have. And I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people.
And the renewed interest came at the exact same time. 17 earthquakes rattled Area 51, the classified military base in Nevada. Now,
I forgot about this. I didn't even grab this story, but I'm glad he's covering it, so we can talk about it. A bunch of earthquakes got Area 51. What are they working on? See, this is my theory. I think all of this, all these weird videos, all these scientists going missing, all these earthquakes, all these strangely started fires that light whole cities on fire in LA and Hawaii. I think it's all connected, but it's not aliens. It's weird future weaponry that they're working on, and it's top secret, and that's why people are dying if they're whistleblowers and stuff. We're working on weird tech and weird weaponry, and the Star Wars are coming.
FBI Director Kash Patel says the release could be happening.
Working on some weird HARP technology, some weird seismic wave technology in Area 51 that sets off earthquakes, weird lasers in space, directed energy weapons. Star Wars are coming, guys.
Very soon. My next guest has been outspoken on UFOs.
Oh, Star of Lakshmi? That's the name of it.
He says aliens are not on the way, they are already here. Joining me now is retired Navy Admiral and oceanographer Timothy Gallaudet. Admiral, thank you for being with us here today. So,
oceanographer.
This conversation we need to start with you.
Dude, see, what if they're coming from the ocean? What if they're coming from the depths, from the heart of the earth? The tunnels have been opened. The connecting between the depths of Sheol, the realm of hell, and earth has been opened. That means the demons, the Nephilim, the dragons, the Leviathan, the reptiles are all coming out. It's about to get serious. That's my second theory. So if it's not some weird weaponry from other countries and tech billionaires, oh God, now my camera's following me. Hold on. Stop it. If it's not that, then the other option is it's demons coming from underwater and from the tunnels under the earth, which would mean it's not extraterrestrial, which means it's not aliens. It's dang earth monsters. I believe cryptids in earth monsters more than I believe in aliens. So I'm going to stick with that.
You're a serious person. I mean, you were an admiral in the United States Navy, and you have spoken to many people in the United States military about what they have seen, correct?
That's correct, Will. And really, the bottom line here from the president promising to release these UFO files is an open admission that the U.S. government has been in possession of UFO data, videos, information, and material evidence for over 8 decades. And I recently joined a number of former government officials in this recently released documentary, The Age of Disclosure. One of those officials includes the current Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio.
Okay, so Admiral, what do you have? What do you know to back up your claim that we have had UFO material? And does that include, is that organic material? Is that beings? Is that mechanical, technological? What do you know? How can you back up that claim?
Well, I've not seen those, Will, myself, but of course there have been others who've testified, including David Grush in 2024, about having knowledge of the programs that
remember we talked about, I've seen this one a million times. This is an old one. Then they found those mummified remains that they were saying was an alien. We talked about that a while ago.
Material.
Why am I clinically insane? I'm based. What do you think these are, Marilyn? You think they're space aliens? You're insane.
Classified and secure. And I know other officials who have touched those programs and been allowed access. And they're all very credible. And they're in this film.
We've seen this.
Administration releasing the first batch of files.
So that was before they dropped. This is after they dropped.
Related to UFOs and alien life.
So is the truth really out there?
Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey joins us.
The truth is out there, but that doesn't have anything to do with aliens.
Good morning. So a White House official
Peter Ducey
left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO files copy 203. That is the all domain resolution office copy 203. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip over the skies of the United Arab Emirates.
The white dot. The white dot. This is the greatest. This is the best video we got. I got to turn my air on. There's an alien base on America as well. If it's a base on in America, then it wouldn't be alien. It would be American.
In June 2024, an inverted teardrop, vertically linear trail.
Yeah, and there's an illegal alien base in every Democrat-ran city.
Mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022, moving bottom left to top right of the field of view. All CENTCOM gets from this.
That one's old. I've seen that one.
Of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report. Next video.
Unresolved UAP report means... Unresolved means they haven't figured out what it is, which means it could just still be a camera effect. It could just be light glinting off the lens or some sort of defect in the camera that makes that line. Like, you know, if you used to watch old black and white TVs, you'd have just a line, and it would be a line of light sometimes. You'd have like a white line of light that goes across the screen. If it's an unresolved UAP report, it could be something as simple as that. They just haven't figured out what it is. So they say, okay, it's unidentified aerial phenomenon. When they confirm it, then that means that there was actually something in the air. If it's unresolved, it may not even be an aerial phenomenon. It may be a camera artifact something in the digital transfer, something in the technology that they're using to record this. It could be something in that. If it's unresolved, we don't even know that thing was actually there. It could just be something in the video. Could be like the sea rock in the fake moon landing stuff, which was just a hair on the lens of a camera. Not the camera that they took the picture with, because the original picture doesn't have the sea. But then they took a picture of the picture, the copy, there was a hair on the lens, and that's what the sea is. The sea is not on the original picture. So it's just a later artifact in the footage that could come through a data transfer, that could come through, I don't know, the wiring. There's a problem in the wiring. There's static while they're recording it. There's a light effect or something like that that hits the lens of the camera. All of these things could be answers if it's an unresolved UAP report. If it's a resolved UAP report, that means they figured out that it was actually an aerial phenomenon and not just something dumb.
Greece, October 2023. What is described as a small and circular UAP flying near the surface of the ocean towards land. CENTCOM can't tell us what it is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. Within the last 2 minutes, all of these videos have gone live on Ward.
So always listen for that when you're watching these. Listen to if they say unresolved UAP report. When they say that, that's code for this could be nothing. We don't know.
.gov/UFO, and a White House official tells Fox First, while past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files. And there's also a fresh look at some historical records. There's this from Apollo 17 included in this.
Okay, we know about this. We talked about all this already. FEMEX, I don't know what this is, but Pentagon declassifies UFO files. Elon Musk remains silent. I just try to pull up to see how Elon's been reacting to this, because I heard some people say Elon was confirming we got ALIEMS now. But I could not find him saying anything like that. Everything I found says stuff like this, which is basically Elon's kind of remaining silent on it. Maybe you guys have heard something I haven't heard or found something I didn't find, but Elon Musk, known for his advocacy for space exploration, has not commented on the matter on X. Musk has previously expressed skepticism about alien technology, attributing unexplained phenomena to human activities such as secret weapon programs or satellites. Oh, am I really that insane, Marilyn? Am I really that insane when I say it could be a weapons program? Or is she saying I'm insane because I was talking about the portals to hell opening? Maybe that's the insane part. I don't know. I told you that's my backup option, okay? My main guess is that this is some weird weapon technology that other countries and rich people are working on. But if that bears out false, then my backup is that demons are coming out of hell. And they're not even coming from space. They're coming from the heart of the earth. All right, so that's that. We will get back to more alien stuff. If I have free time at the end, we'll talk about just some abduction stories, lasers, all the fun space stuff. I made a new... I have a bunch of space is fake. Not space is fake. Aliens are fake. Space is real, guys. I have a bunch of aliens are fake folders. So I made a new one for 2026. We got to keep it updated, you know? I got one for 2023. I got one for 2020. I'm just kidding. I didn't start keeping my folders until like a year or two ago. So I don't have folders from when I first started the show 4 years ago. Did you guys know that either this week or last week is the 4-year anniversary of the show? So I've talked about aliens for 4 years now. And the lasers and the space wars, I'm going to be vindicated. Okay? When the space wars start, I will be vindicated. No, space is not fake. So we got the ALIEMS 2026 folder going. With time left over at the end of the show, we'll talk about that. But we're going to take a little time here to look at the LA mayoral race, which is going on, because I think LA's elections,
annual feed, so
you know, it's Democrats, but it's still a pivotal election zone for America, because if LA somehow flips, maybe not red, but at least more centrist, more classically liberal, like a move towards more baseness, then that's a good sign for America. So right now we got the LA mayoral race, and we've got this new guy taking on Karen Bass, taking on the establishment, Spencer Pratt. And first thing I thought is he related to Chris Pratt? It kind of looks similar. Both have, I don't even know if this guy's a Republican, this Spencer Pratt guy, but he's supposedly more base and he's doing some cool memes and stuff. Some things that I found said they are not related, but then I found a few things that said that they let it slip in an interview that they are cousins. So allegedly, you can look into yourself. I was trying to figure out if they were related. I found some things saying they were, some things saying they weren't. So, but both involved in, I think Spencer Pratt was a reality TV show on a TV star on a show called The Hill, and then Chris Pratt, actor. Three leading candidates for LA mayor office face off on homelessness, wildfires, and film industry in fiery debate. Fiery debate was held on Wednesday. Incumbent Karen Bass and two of her primary challengers in the race for Los Angeles mayor. The candidates sparred over how to handle wildfires, homelessness. By the way, there's more wildfires coming soon to an LA near you. It's about that time. Starting to heat up. Crime rates are going to skyrocket. I can't wait to see what the protests are going to be like this summer as we get closer to midterms. And laser fires. Laser fires incoming for LA. So get ready. They're already warning. And then now people like Adam Ruins Everything, who propped up Karen Bass and said she could not ever do a thing wrong, and said she had nothing to do with those fires. Now he's trying to save face and covering and saying Karen Bass mismanaged the Palisades fire incident. Well, you were all over her nuts back then saying she didn't do anything wrong. Now you're saying she mismanaged it? That's what we were saying. And everybody said we're crazy conspiracy theorists. Of course they didn't shut down the water. Of course they don't keep all the water in reservoirs and they have plenty of water. Of course they're not doing DEI and hiring a bunch of lesbian women firefighters. You guys are crazy. That's not happening. Now even the left is like, yeah, Karen Bass screwed all that up. Yeah, we were crazy, but we were crazy. We're insane. Spencer Pratt. So he's been making some memes. That's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna look at the memes he's been doing, and then we're gonna watch a little bit of the debate. Spencer Pratt's viral AI video in LA mayor's race goes viral. I think I have it right here. I got it right here. Let's go full screen on this piece because this is pretty epic right here. Check this out. This is Spencer Pratt's campaign video. And then he made a new one that I watched, a Star Wars one, but I like this one better. We got Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, and Kamala Harris.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free...
Oh my God. There's homeless crackheads in front of my children's school. If you were a transgender migrant, maybe I could help you. That's crazy.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug.
A free pussy? What? I could get you a free pussy. What does that even mean? What?
Drug addicts closer.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Already solved crime. I endorse her.
She's chugging vodka.
Move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
Is that Joe Rogan? I did not know Joe Rogan was in this.
Please, I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
Mom, look.
Okay, I don't even know about this guy, about his politics or what, but this is epic. I want him to win just for this.
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground,
Pull through that!
I feel so close.
You can do it, Spencer!
You know they're going to take backlash for this, the imagery in this. Remember when Trump did the Kingsman video, but he put like CNN and MSNBC when the guy walks into the church in Kingsman and just starts blowing people away, but he covered all their faces with like CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, and all the Democrats freaked out. Oh my God, you're encouraging violence. You're saying people should kill all the media. Which is kind of the same thing we're doing with the 8647 now. And they're probably going to get mad about this. Is this supposed to symbolize assassinating Kamala Harris? LA is worth saving. LA is worth saving. So that's pretty cool. So that's that. This isn't an ad put out by his campaign, which makes it even more amazing. Regular people who just wanted to be left alone were dragged in caring about politics because of Karen Bass and Nithya Raman's complete failure, who only see hope in Spencer Pratt's campaign. At one point, mass agent, blah, blah, blah. Please, I'm begging. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe. The crowd of elites laughs, and the mayor, governor, and former vice president dismiss her concerns. Well, they're not going to quote what Newsom said in the video. And it talks about how Joe Rogan left California for Texas. I'm just trying to see his politics. Is he a Republican? Incumbent by March. Also highlighted by, among other prominent conservatives. I don't know why I didn't search this up earlier. Yes. Spencer Pratt is a registered Republican. He has rejected the MAGA label, calling his campaign localized and nonpartisan. Nonpartisan is usually a buzzword for commie, but he's registered Republican. So, and he's focusing on the issue, the transgender stuff, the immigrants, the homelessness, the drug addiction, and tough on crime. So that's based. And focusing on a localized campaign and kind of distancing yourself from MAGA right now is probably a very good political move. You know? That could be one of the reasons Larry Elder lost. Also, I think Larry Elder's what was that, a gubernatorial or a re-election race Newsom and Larry Elder. And Larry Elder, I thought Larry Elder was going to win. His approval ratings were great. Everybody loves Larry. And somehow he loses in a landslide, even though people hated Newsom at the time after COVID. I don't know about that election. That was a weird one. And that's another thing. Like, is a LA election even a real election? Does this dude even stand a chance? How are they polling? How is Spencer Pratt polling? And we'll watch the debate for a little bit, and then Spencer Pratt is surprisingly polling as a top-tier candidate. His campaign, strong standing, considered a legitimate top-tier candidate with significant fundraising, surprisingly strong performance in polls. Spencer Pratt and Nithya Raman lead fundraising. Second place in the race. Second place to who? Karen Bass. Incumbent Mayor Karen Bass currently holds the most support from potential voters at 25%, while the reality TV star is right behind her at 11%. Nithya Raman is at 9%. All right. It's doable. It's doable. Similar things are happening over into Britain. I forget the names of the parties, but they have a new, like, more conservative party, I guess, and it's polling at 50% in many areas, which is crazy in England because they have like 6 different parties. So the winner could only have 13% of the vote and still win. But 50% polling in England for a right-wing or right-leaning, because I think even the right in England is left, but right-leaning polling at 50% amongst all those more popular parties is crazy. Tides are turning. Maybe the pendulum's not done swinging to the right, which is a good thing. Let's look at this debate. This is an hour long. I was planning on just reviewing this whole debate, and then doing rapid fire news and then ending the show. But I made a space folder. So if we have time, we'll get into some lasers and some abductions and stuff. But I would like to watch some of this debate. So let's see this. We watched the political debates
Thanks
here.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Our doubleheader debate kicks off right now with the race for LA mayor. There are a number of issues for Angelenos.
We're going to play it a little fast.
Just 4 weeks away, the stakes are very, very high. Joining me for the debate tonight are my colleagues,
Kinda
Nolan,
quiet.
NBC4 political reporter, and Enrique Chiabra, Telemundo 52 news anchor.
And we welcome tonight the 43rd mayor of the city of Los Angeles, the Honorable Karen Bass, and her 2 challengers, Nithya Raman, who is a member of the Los Angeles City Council District 4, and Spencer Pratt, a media entrepreneur and a former reality TV host. We'll be asking...
Former reality TV host. You got to drop that in there because people love their reality TV hosts. That's what I've heard. That's what they say. Shoot, I need to go get some water. I'm just going to play this. You guys will have to tell me the question. I'll be right back. It'll take me 2 seconds.
Questions tonight on behalf of viewers and voters. We are proud to broadcast and stream this debate in English and Spanish on NBC4 and Telemundo 52 in partnership with LMU.
All right, there are a couple of rules tonight. Each of the candidates will have 60 seconds to answer our questions, and then 30 seconds for rebuttals and or responses to follow. That is up to the discretion of the moderators here. If a candidate goes over their time, we'll give them a warning. If it happens repeatedly, the candidate could get fewer questions. And of course, to our live audience here at the Skirball Center, please hold your applause.
And of course, we're expecting a dignified debate. We can certainly no name calling, obviously. We're interested in some precision here.
We're just going over rules.
Giving the people of the city of Los Angeles some specificity.
No name
as to how
calling.
they're going to handle some of these problems. And
Tell me I ain't allowed to call
January
names.
7th of last year. So, Mayor, this is for you. I know that you have apologized for being out of the country during those wildfires, but still.
Yeah, of course she was out of the country during the wildfires. She got a warning the lasers were coming.
There are plenty of people who believe that the city let them down. The Los Angeles Fire Department, for some reason.
Social justice, actual justice warrior made a video talking about Karen Bass, and he had a clip from when the fire departments were doing the DEI and they were hiring all the fat lesbians to work in the fire department. and there's a promotional video, and there's this soft music playing, and there's this big dyke lesbian firefighter lady, and she's like, some people ask me, but will you be able to carry my husband out of a burning building? And I say, well, maybe your husband shouldn't have got himself into a burning building. And that's a real clip of some fat lesbian firefighter lady saying maybe your husband shouldn't have got trapped in a burning building, acknowledging that she won't be able to carry him out of the burning building. It's crazy.
Didn't have a strike team or a brush unit.
It's not my fault I'm a fat lesbian that they hired for DEI purposes to the fire department. It's your fault for being in a fire.
Where there had been a fire just days earlier and had been reports it was still smoldering. That appears to be inexcusable. LADWP had a reservoir that was dry. The fire hydrants went dry. So based on that issue alone, articulate for us why you should get a second contract as the mayor of the city.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you.
And then the fire hydrants went dry because they keep water in reservoirs and they control how much the people have and have all these weird water regulations there because of land stuff and climate change. And, we can't go get the water from this reservoir, this lake. We just need to hold this here because it'll be bad for the environment. We can't collect the rainwater. We just pump it out into the ocean because it's good for the environment. We can't do controlled burns, and we can't clear out overgrowth because it's bad for the environment.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you.
So you got
when I took over,
you got a hot, dry region where you're not clearing the brush and doing controlled burns and managing the overgrowth. You don't have good water systems set up, and then it gets hot, and then you got lasers collecting solar energy that they're beaming down to power plants, where they overload the generators because all this stuff is new and it's being tested. And they're not telling us about it, but it's happening. And then you have homeless people smoking crack and fent with campfires in the woods. You have the perfect storm of your whole city's going to catch on fire. And when it happens, you're to blame because everybody's been pointing it out and talking about it for years.
as mayor, LA was definitely facing an awful lot of tough problems. And obviously, January 7th was horrible. And as I have told you before, it was one of the worst moments of my life to not be here when my city needed me. And it didn't matter where I was or why I was away. To me, it reminds me of like if you're away and a family member is in an accident. But I think that I deserve a second term, and I'm going to fight for that because we have made significant progress in a variety of areas. For example,
like
homelessness was going up year after year. And under my watch, it is the first time we've had a decrease in street homelessness. While it went up in the country.
Is that true? I don't believe that. Maybe you have a decrease this year in homelessness because Trump closed the borders, you dumb fuck.
18%, it came down in Los Angeles, 17.5%. I have expedited the building of housing.
It went up 18% and it came down 17.5%. So it's still up 0.5% from where it was before you came into office. And probably the only reason you have a decline this year is because Trump closed the border. This woman.
Because our number one issue in this city is affordability. And
starts with freaking lasers on their freaking heads.
Right, so let me follow up on the fires, though. One gets the...
No, they're satellites with freaking lasers on their freaking heads.
Impression based on what we saw that you prioritized wages and benefits, a hike in the salaries of the firefighters union over the operations budget. We saw those pictures of those engines that were inoperable because they didn't.
You paid more to the firefighters unions, but you hired less qualified fat lesbian firefighters who didn't have access to water, so they couldn't even do their job if they wanted to.
Have enough mechanics to fix them. Well, was that a mistake? Explain that decision.
Let me just say, first of all, the primary problem there was that the chief sent home 1,000 firefighters. We actually had fire trucks with not enough firefighters there. So yes,
that's because of COVID. Your government made people get sent home and get fired and get laid off.
were fire trucks that were broken.
And then you hired a bunch of black radical lesbians in their place.
But there were also trucks that were out of use
Did she
because
just say
she
fire
had
fucks?
sent the fire.
There were also some fire fucks out there. Look at all these fire fucks. We're going to have to fire some of these guys. Sorry, I'm trying not to cuss as much, but she just said fire fucks. Am I crazy?
That were broken, but there were also trucks that were out of
You got to get these fire fucks out of here. Damn, that's a gaffe if I've ever heard one. I never even heard Biden say fire fucks. One more time.
Fighters there. So yes, there were fire trucks that were broken, but there were also trucks that were out of use because she had.
Somebody giggled. That's probably Spencer Hewitt. She just said fire fucks.
Sent the firefighters home. You are correct. There was supposed to have been deployment and pre-deployment in the area. That did not happen. But the same way that LA was not prepared, neither was the county.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Bass, Mr. Pratt, this question's for you. Your desire to run for office, for mayor of Los Angeles, really born of your own experience. You lost your home in the fire. You lost your neighborhood. How does that really color your view of what needs to happen at this point? And how does that help others moving forward?
Yes, thank you for the question. To the Mayor Karen Bass's, the 1,000 firefighters that were available, but there was no engines for them because of the $17 million that Chief Crowley had asked the mayor for 9 weeks before, and Mayor Karen Bass denied it. So they may have been available, but they didn't have the equipment they needed. Not to mention Janice Quinones, who Mayor Karen Bass put into her position of power at the LA DWP. She drained both of these reservoirs that these firefighters needed to put out these fires. A lot of people talk about climate change and hurricane force winds. The winds in the Pacific Palisades never reached higher than 40 miles per hour. For those first 6 hours, they didn't go above 27 miles per hour. So without those two reservoirs filled with 117 million gallons and 5 million gallons, these firefighters had to fly all the way to Malibu and Encino to get water.
Crazy.
So that to me is the most.
We sent fire trucks from Salt Lake City, Utah to California to help with the fires. So because these fucking stop cussing, Josh. Because these dumb Democrats, my dumb Democrat mayor has to send my resources to California to cover for some other dumb Democrats. And I pay for it.
Dangerous thing that
and I'm broke.
The mayor put us up against.
Mr. Pratt, a follow-up here, though. What would you do moving forward that would make this better 2 years from now if we face the same situation?
Well, first off, as mayor, I'd
have said let them burn.
Never drain the reservoirs that we need for wildfire protection.
Yeah,
There's this
obvious.
conspiracy now that they're empty, that they were for drinking water. But if you research it, they were actually made for wildfire protection. As mayor, I'm going to add 20 dip sites all around the communities connecting to pools. So God forbid the water system goes down again. These dip sites that will be connected to individuals' pools will fill up for the helicopters to have water.
Mayor, perhaps you have a...
So if there's a fire, a couple miles away, you walk out to go swimming one day, you jump in your pool, boom! There's no water in your pool anymore. They took your water. That's true, Jay. Is broke as fuck. Everything else I've said has been false up till now, but that part's true. Whatever.
Response to
that? Absolutely. He's saying several things that are completely inaccurate. First of all, there was one reservoir that was out of commission. He is correct. 1 million years ago, it was for wildfires, but over the last 30, 40...
1 million years ago, Karen? 1 million years ago? Listen, we all know it's your fault for not giving money for the fire fucks.
years, it's been for drinking water. He talked about the winds. That is just completely inaccurate. If that were accurate, then the planes would have been able to fly. And so the winds reached close to 100 miles an hour, and the planes were unable to fly. So if there were reservoirs, if that reservoir had been open, it would not have worked. We had two other reservoirs totaling $8 billion.
She doesn't know how to say the word reservoir. Reservoirs, and fire fucks.
Gallons that were available, but could not fly.
Yes, she mentioned me. So she's an incredible liar. Everyone on their phones, Google it. 40 weather stations in the Pacific Palisades. It never went above 40 miles per hour. She is referencing the Altadena fire.
I have to interrupt you. No name calling,
she just
please.
lied, though.
Yeah, but no name calling.
No name calling, guys. No name calling, okay? We don't want a Trump in L.A. We can't be having name calling. He didn't call her a name. He said she is a liar. She just lied. She is a liar. if somebody commits the crime of murder and I say, you're a murderer, I'm not calling them a name. I'm just saying what they are. It's like if you call a police officer, I say, you're a police officer. He'd say, yep, that's what I am. That's not name calling.
She
called me a liar.
I don't believe she did. I did not hear that.
I did not.
We're not going to debate the issue.
She accused him of lying. She effectively called him a liar. And then he said, you're a liar. Here's why. And then this lady has to jump in to defend. Of course, the media moderators are always going to jump in. No name calling. Oh, my God, guys. Even though she just basically called you a liar. No name calling.
We have a question now for Councilmember Rahman.
Councilwoman Rahman, so your District 4 is a fire-prone district. My question to you
Councilwoman Rahman. Dude, this chick about to make me hungry. I like some ramen. Let me get some ramen. Top ramen. I like the creamy chicken.
Seen that you've introduced fire preparedness motions after January 2025.
I like the soy. Soy ramen, oriental ramen, creamy chicken ramen, the picante chicken, beef, classic beef. I like me some ramen.
Them happened after the fire, the Palisades fire. My question to you is, what did you do before that? Because this seems like it's more reactive rather than proactive. So any motions you introduced before January 2025?
Yeah, so my name is Nithya. I'm a
January
council member for the 4th District,
2025.
representing a huge percentage of the hillsides. For those of you who haven't met me before, I'm a mother of young twins. I'm an urban planner by training, and I've been in this role for about 5 years. And in my role as a council member for a hillside...
That's what we need is another Indian urban planner running LA. Great. We'll get parks and art installments and bike paths and, you know, that's about it.
area, we have to do a lot of work preparing for
gay art installments.
Before rainy seasons, actually in the past, mudslides have been the biggest issue in my district. Entire homes have gone off of their foundations, and we go in advance and make sure that traps
Why is she glittered up?
are cleared, that areas are available for flood and clearing. We do brush clearance and make sure that all of the departments and all of the interjurisdictional areas that are supposed to be doing brush clearance are actually doing that work. Before this set of fires, we sent out an email. We made sure that we were connecting.
But is that enough, just sending an email, especially for your district, the Hollywood Hills, Encino? That's a very big fire-prone area.
Well, we didn't have a single home that was lost during these fires. I was at the Emergency Operations Center. I was making sure that I was in communication with all of our partners. I also want to make sure that we understand that the mayor's role is to be the CEO of the city. They are the executive authority in the city. As a council member, you're a legislator.
It's crazy we're talking about rebuilding after the LA wildfires. It's been a year.
You push for your district, which I did and I will always do.
It's been a year. You know how much you could build in a year with all that money?
And I will always keep doing. But really, it is the mayor's role to be prepared and
Johnny
to coordinate
Bravo.
before and during and after emergencies to ensure that the city is ready.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
As I said, we have a lot of topics to cover tonight. The next one is public safety. LAPD is reporting the overall crime rate is down, but people repeatedly say that's not their perception. They
That's because the border's closed.
do not feel safe. We're seeing yet another series of home burglaries in the San Fernando Valley. And just today, federal authorities arrested at least 18 people connected to a drug trafficking investigation. They called it Save MacArthur Park. Mayor Bass, you have 60 seconds for this. Who ordered this operation with the feds? Is it a sign that our communities are not safe?
No, actually, that operation was ordered by the feds. However, we have been working in collaboration because we were very well aware of the drug dealing that was taking place there. We have used a comprehensive approach when it comes to MacArthur Park. Multiple things are needed. And so what happened a couple of hours ago was an action that had been in the works for many, many years. But let me just say, or many, many months, let me just say also that LAPD, that Los Angeles is understaffed in terms of LAPD for the nation's second largest city. And so I have been fighting to
I'm more of a Nickelodeon kind of guy.
hire more officers. Unfortunately, I have not had the cooperation from the city council, including, unfortunately, my colleague next to me, who has voted repeatedly against hiring officers, including when we were finally able to increase the class size and the council would not fund it. What is in my current budget now is 512 officers, which still is not enough. At least that will deal with attrition. We cannot shrink our department.
Councilmember Rahman,
You cannot shrink your department. How much y'all want to bet she was saying defund the police during Black Lives Matter?
30 seconds to respond to that.
You know, I've supported multiple budgets, thoughtful budgets that maintained and sometimes even increased the size of the police force. I did vote against a big contract, a contract that gave the police union more money than the city had, a contract and its knock-on effects, which ultimately led to the city having a $1 billion budget deficit last year. That led to us having to cut essential services across the entire city. If you're wondering why your streetlights are out on your block and the Bureau of Street Lighting is telling you that it's taking a year to fix a streetlight, that's why.
Councilmember Rahman, thank you. Mr. Pratt, there were 100 LAPD officers working with the feds today. Your response to what went down in MacArthur Park?
It's unbelievable. I hope we have the FBI, the DEA, the CDC, the ATF. The more resources we can make the streets of LA safe with federal money, amazing. I talk to thousands of moms a week. They do not feel safe in the street, no matter.
He's smart. He could have added ICE to that list, but it probably wouldn't look good or sound good. It would be a bad timing to say it. So I think he strategically didn't say ICE there, but hopefully he'll get ICE back in there.
Or what these crime statistics are telling anybody, it's not how people feel on the street. There's a difference between people reporting crime and feeling unsafe on the street. And with Councilwoman Rahman, people are more concerned about getting stabbed on the street than the lights being out. So I think Mayor Bass funding the police was important, actually.
Mr. Pratt, I have a follow-up question for all of you here.
You did mention me, so do I get to respond to that?
Just a moment. This is a response to some of that. Langer's Deli, which, as you all know, is a staple of downtown Los Angeles, is asking all of you on the stage right now to end the needle run giveaway program. So my question, Mayor, first of all to you.
Yeah, it turns out if you give a bunch of fentanyl addicts free needles, that you have more overdoses and more people die, and then you have more needles all over the place.
Yes or no? It's run by the city run needle program.
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Councilmember Rahman.
A little honesty there. She didn't dodge. She said, yes, it is run by the city.
No.
Mr. Pratt.
Wait, what? Oh, should we end it?
And the needle run giveaway program. So my question, Mayor, first of all to you, yes or no? It's run by the city. The city run
Should we end it?
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Councilmember Rahman.
Now, she may. Okay, I misunderstood the question. The question is, should we end the program? And Bass said yes. But you saw that face she kind of made. It was kind of a face like, yes, just so I can get your vote. And then once I'm in office, no. At least this lady's like, no, I'm not ending it. The junkies need free needles. What are you talking about?
No.
Mr. Pratt.
Absolutely no needles and pipes for drug addicts on the street ever.
Got it. I'll take that as
a
yes.
Sorry.
Take that as a yes. Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
You have 30 seconds.
Well, I did want to say in response to this question that the way you address homelessness, the way you address people living on the street is by bringing them off the street.
Here we go with the mama mentality. Let's give them free housing. You know, we'll buy a hotel. We'll make 100 units for homeless people to live in. And next thing you know, you have 100 housed drug addicts. And then the building burns down because somebody sets a meth lab up in one of the apartments. Here we go. Here's the Indian mama going to tell us how to take care of the hobos.
Streets and indoors. I think we need to absolutely invest in shelter. We need to invest in services. We need to actually get people off the streets for people to be safe. That's what I've done in my district.
And that is the homeless industrial complex. We need more housing. We need more services. We need more clean needles. Maybe we legalize drugs. And what this does is it incentivizes people, and it makes it easier for people to be homeless, lazy, and comfortable. Lazy and comfortable. You can be lazy and comfortable, not work. Taxpayers will take care of your housing, your food, your drugs, your needles, your medical, your education. And you can just, I don't know, play Skyrim all day. I don't care. Do whatever you do. You know, you're using some of your Social Security and disability money to buy a PS5, and now you're streaming. Now you're streaming. You're a streamer now. And it's taxpayer funded. Wow.
We've had a 54% reduction in tents and encampments in Council District 4 just over 3 years, and I'm very, very proud of those results. That's how you achieve real public safety outcomes. That's how you ensure that the people of Los Angeles are safe.
So, Mr. Pratt, the chief of police said the other day that he doesn't think we're going to have enough officers for LA 2028. Now, the federal government's responsible for security for the Olympics, but LAPD is part of that. Plus, you have to patrol the rest of the city. Hiring more officers is expensive. It's extraordinarily so in many cases. What is your strategy for getting more people, recruiting more officers and paying for them?
You know, it's more expensive than hiring them is overtime, because that's what these salaries for the fire department that everyone's complaining about. Everyone's understaffed. So first off, I'm going to bring hiring back to the LAPD. Right now, the LAPD is hired by the same people that hire sanitation, and we need to bring it back like it was 20 plus years ago, so that police hire police. And we need a 10-year plan. It's going to take 10 years to get to the 12,000.
With no DEI initiatives. We don't need fat, black, radical lesbians in the fire and police department.
500 officers that we need, and that needs to be a priority. Our sheriff's partner, they're the same size. They have $1 billion more budget for the same size. So this idea that Councilwoman Rahman keeps saying that the police department is overfunded, public safety should be our #1 priority. And we're going to find all this money when we stop her useless open bed plans that actually doesn't put drug addicts in these housing that we're spending billions of dollars, and we're going to actually start checking where this money is going. Not to mention, when you get rid of all the drug addicts off the street, the police won't be responding to the drug addicts all day long.
Thank you. Councilwoman, you can respond.
You know, I have not argued against paying police officers what they're worth. They do some of the hardest jobs in our city, and all of our city employees deserve a living wage. They deserve to be paid. What I am arguing...
A living wage. Commie gobbledygook. Whenever you hear living wage, your commie sensor should go off.
Against is bad fiscal management, which is what has gotten the city of Los Angeles into this moment.
Thanks, Payne
the
Zombie
police
Ghosting.
union is the most powerful force in LA city politics, and when you give contracts to people because they are going to fund your campaigns, and by the way, I'm the only person on the stage that is being spent against because I had the courage to speak out about bad budget decisions.
You're also the only one on the stage who wants to keep giving junkies free needles. So maybe that's why they don't want to give you money, lady.
Councilwoman.
That is what happens.
Appreciate that.
We're going to stay with you, Councilwoman Brandman. So you've said, even last night you said it, that you're okay with the current staffing levels at LAPD. My question to you, people say that's just ridiculous, it's not enough, we need more officers. My question to you is, what do you tell people, especially victims, who say the city has let them down?
Yeah, and I think this is a very real issue. The city's most important response is public safety. It is so important to me. I'm the mother of young children. The safety of people in Los Angeles is absolutely essential. But that's why I think we have to start getting honest with people about how we're actually going to respond to public safety needs. How will we make sure that when they call for help, someone picks up the phone at 911 and someone comes when they call, the right person comes when they call? Right now, we have not built out that system.
Like what, a social worker to a domestic violence call, the most dangerous police call? Just send some social workers?
Because we have funded more police officers, but haven't been able to hire. Our police force is actually shrinking. We have shrunk right now.
So no more officers?
No.
Stay the same? What are you saying?
I would love to keep it the same. We have funded them more. The police force has been shrinking. So let's get real about how we actually deliver public safety outcomes. I'm going to work as hard as I can to maintain our police force where it is, but we also need to make sure that we build out responses that can actually take call load off of LAPD. So many calls that are coming into LAPD do not require armed officer response. Let's take call load off of them, and let's make sure that
I'm going
police
to
can
skip
come
ahead a
when
little
people call.
bit.
Your time is up. Quick.
Rooms.
I'm going to skip around a little bit so we can still have time to do rapid fire. We have a bunch of little stories in rapid fire.
We need to move on here.
sorry,
Mr. Pratt, you have been
excuse
critical
me.
of what you consider failures of the current administration on this issue. You advocate for what some have called get help or get out of the way. What is that, and how do you do it?
I don't know who made up that name. First off, I just want to say, Councilwoman Robin acts like she doesn't have any authority with this homelessness. She was the third most powerful person in city council. She runs the homeless housing thing. She acts like this is just Mayor Bass. First off, inside safe, I like to say inside safe makes all of us outside unsafe. The reality is no matter how many beds you give these people, they are on super meth. They are on fentanyl. The DEA statistic says 93% of this is a drug addiction problem. Nithya, Councilwoman Robin's
93%. That's even high. Like I've always been generous in saying like probably 70% of them are on drugs. At least here in Utah. But that's being generous. I've always leaned more towards like 90%. And now they're saying 93% in these studies. Shocker.
Plan for treatment first. I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say, 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them. They're a team.
So, Councilmember Rahman, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I want to just say to everybody who's watching today, you're going to watch today as Mayor Bass and Spencer Pratt attack me because they want to run against each other in the general election. Each of them thinks that running against each other is what's going to help them win, and they don't want to run against me because my ideas, which are based on real results in my district, which are based on...
Shut up, Ramen. Nobody cares about you. All right.
Real
Enough
data,
of that.
a real analysis of the system, and a focus on accountability and using every dollar as effectively as possible, which we have done in my district. I want to take this citywide. This is why this is happening today.
Councilmember Bauman, we're out of time. I'm going to give each of you...
All right. They're out of time. We're not going to watch all of this, but I'll probably watch it. I'll probably listen to it at work tonight. There's another 30 minutes, and we got to move on with the show. I was just going to do rapid fire and then watch this whole thing, but I decided, nah, it's the 4-year anniversary. We got to talk about some more aliens and some space stuff. But first, we're going to do the reels and the rapid fire. Let me pull it up. Let's watch some of this Jason Park skate video while I get everything set up here. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. It is this one. You guys know who Jason Park is?
What's that?
Never try marijuana, don't try it at all.
He just does like weird, crazy tricks.
It's like beating your head on a wall. Say no way, marijuana's the fast way to fall.
Oh, you guys can't see it. Dang it. My bad.
Cause it's doing you no good at all. Yeah! And you know, if you gamble with life,
that's cool.
You can lose it. Gotta go. Cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh.
I only popped into a manual. All right.
Marijuana, don't try it at all.
Okay, enough of that. What the hell? Okay, this is kind of gay, but let's see this big dude do some weird stuff with his mom. I let my mom see some awesome dance moves. Look at his mom's like, what the fuck? What are you doing, boy? What are you doing, son? What are you doing, son? All right, I only got one more.
Did, doing, and undo. Let me take a minute to explain it to you real quick, man. See, what you did is ancient history, and I 100% guarantee that shit can't be changed. What you undo has yet to be determined. It's all about what you're doing. That dictates what the fuck you undo. Did's done. Forget about did. Fuck you doing. Fuck you undo.
All right. That's a little message for life right there. Sorry. I didn't cover the Met Gala. Usually every year we kind of touch on the Met Gala. We'll do a quick overview of some of the weirdest fruitcakes at the Met Gala. This year I skipped over it, but I saw Sam Tripoli posted this. Or he reposted it. This is Erin Rose Phillip, the first black transgender woman with quadriplegic cerebral palsy signed to a major modeling agency. She's bold and beautiful, guys. She's brave and bold and beautiful. I hate to do it, but
It's a man, baby.
that's a man. That's a man. That's the first black transgender woman paraplegic model. Guys, I don't know what else to say about that one. I don't know where you want me to go with that. Write a caption. I don't know. You could come up with your own thoughts on that. Ay caramba. Holy cow. Anyway, Epstein report updates. We've moved this into rapid fire because I'm tired of it. Apparently they found that's the Tower of Babel. They found a suicide note from old Jeff here. So the alleged suicide note. I mean, I don't know what this means. This is a judge has unsealed a note purportedly written by Jeffrey Epstein in a prison after a suspected suicide attempt in July 2019, a month before he was found dead in his cell. So this was when he tried it once and they put him on special suicide watch, and then he ended up succeeding. But this is the note. They investigated me for a month, found nothing. So 15 years old charges resorted. 15-year-old charges resulted. It is no treat to be chose once. Time to say goodbye. Watch what you want me to do. Burr at crying. No fun. Not worth it. Has anybody analyzed this and just translate that for me? We didn't ever authenticate it with any real handwriting analysis or something like that. The surrounding circumstances of how we came into possession of it, Tartaglione's account, and looking at a similar writing that was found in the cell after he actually killed himself, led us to be comfortable with the fact that Epstein had written it. Do you have a translation? Because I can't read it. Marks on his neck. Taglione denied Epstein changed tune while on suicide watch in the following days. Taglione told writer and influencer Jessica Reed Krause in 2025 podcast interview that he was in the cell when Epstein allegedly tried to hang himself the first time and woke up and saved him by performing CPR. He said he discovered Epstein's notes in one of his books after that incident. I wish they would just translate it. Taglione, a former officer in the Briarcliff Manor Police Department in Winchester County, New York, convicted of quadruple homicide. I'm just trying to find if they have if they explain what it says. It's hard to figure out what it even says. It does say time to say goodbye. Closing time. Epstein hung himself, or maybe he didn't really. We got updates on Russia and Ukraine. Russia has breached 3-day ceasefire with Ukraine, says Zelensky. Ukrainian president says Russia army is not complying with U.S. mediated troops and is not even really trying to. I saw another headline that said Putin was talking about the war coming to an end soon. Russia has been conducting assault operations on the Ukrainian front line in breach of a 3-day ceasefire announced by U.S. President Donald Trump. Volodymyr Zelensky said on Sunday, the Russians are continuing assault activity in sectors key for them. Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, said in his evening address, on the front line, the Russian army is not complying with the ceasefire and is not even really trying to. The U.S. mediated ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine appeared under serious strain on its second day on Sunday, which both sides accusing the other of violating the deal through weekend attacks. The 3-day pause announced on Friday by Trump is part of a broader U.S.-led push for peace that has so far failed to end the more than 4-year-old war despite months of shuttle diplomacy. All right. We got updates on Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson trial. Judge rules cameras will be allowed in the courtroom. So remember, we covered this. We've been watching this trial, covering it every time there's an update. They were trying to say no cameras could come into the courtroom, and that if there were, it would be a mistrial. But you forgot. I know everybody forgot about Ukraine. We got to bring Ukraine back up. You know, a Utah judge ruled cameras will be allowed in Tyler Robinson's murder trial, despite defense concerns about jury bias. Media outlets, prosecutors, and the victim's family supported the decision, citing transparency. The case underscores tension between fair trial rights and public access to court proceedings. Well, there's no such thing as a fair trial. You're always going to have bias. But there will be cameras, which means everybody will be covering it once the real trial starts. From Fox 13 Tampa, Kodak Black arrested on drug trafficking charge. Kodak Black arrested, my boy.
These firefighters in the past.
E-Black. Rapper Kodak Black was booked into the Orange County jail on Wednesday. Orange County. Was that Orlando area? Is he out over near Orlando? A lot of old people out there. Rapper Kodak Black was booked in Orange County jail on Wednesday on a drug trafficking charge, according to records. The charges stem from an incident from November when Orlando police officers say they found drugs tied to Bill Capri, a.k.a. Kodak Black, in a vehicle during a search. Kodak Black faces a charge of trafficking in MDMA, methylene dioxymethamphetamine. Jail records show the rapper, whose real name is Bill Capri, was released on bond on Thursday afternoon, May 7th. So it is Orlando. Look at Kodak Black. Dude, I swear he smokes spice. The way he talks. Or he's just ate up. He's fried. Plus low IQ. You get Kodak Black. E-Black. Arkansas family finds homeless man living in basement after noticing missing items. Look at this guy. This guy looks like a real winner. Could you imagine you hear like scratching around? You think you got mice or something. You go out and get some mice traps. You go down and you're like, where do the shoes keep going? Where's our food at? Who ate the cake? Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. Very low IQ. Yeah. This guy ate their lemon pound cake, and then you go down in the basement with your rat traps, and you find this guy scavenging around down there, a little rat man. Arkansas family found a man living in their basement after noticing missing items. The intruder had been staying in a crawl space before hiding in a closet. He was arrested, and the family said nothing was stolen. That's crazy. I'm not going to dig deeper into this one. Then we got a video of some urban youths. A lot of videos about urban youths. There's one, they pushed an old man down the stairs and he died. A urban youth pushed an old man down a flight of stairs at a subway and he died. There was a girl that got body slammed because she didn't want to give this dude her phone number. And then this surveillance footage comes out of them just walking up and punching an old person, the urban youths. And this mayor is under attack after the video surfaces, and she's been trying to reduce the surveillance in the city.
But first, Seattle's new socialist mayor, Katie Wilson, in the hot seat after a horrific video of
Look at this weaselly-looking woman. Who votes for these people? How are you going to vote for this lady? Socialist? I'm a socialist, and I look like a wet rat. How are you going to vote for this woman? What is wrong with Seattle? And what's wrong with the blacks?
A 77-year-old man severely beaten in downtown Seattle
some barbed
goes
wire.
viral.
Yeah.
She's facing heavy scrutiny after freezing the city's expansion of surveillance cameras, the same type of cameras that helped police catch those attackers. Her reason for pausing these surveillance cams? To protect the privacy of immigrants.
We're pausing the citywide surveillance cameras to protect the privacy of illegal immigrants. I'm adding illegal there because you know it is. And then meanwhile, the blacks are running around beating up old people. And then there's a video of another immigrant lady I just saw where she's just walking and she stabs this girl in the stomach and then runs.
This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Campagno here with my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany. And also joining us today, Kennedy, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, and Josh Ritter, former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, Fox News contributor, and co-host. The footage we're about to show is incredibly graphic. You can see here that elderly...
This is for news reporting purposes only. This is not live footage. News, education, documenting the news. This is from Fox News channel, YouTube. This is not a live video.
Man walking down the street, then being shoved to the ground. The victim was hospitalized for a week, having a broken arm.
At least he didn't kick him. He goes to do a kick, and then he stops. A little bit of impulse control. That's crazy. That's groundbreaking. They're really breaking ground over there, the young urban youths.
A broken knee and many facial injuries. One suspect was arrested and charged with second-degree assault and jailed on the night of the assault. Watch.
You know Katie? Yeah, I know Katie. The mayor. Yeah. Thank you. That's it. That's almost it. That's my last word.
He was released.
He said, "You know the mayor?" That's all I'm going to say. That's my last words. What does that mean? It means the mayor's going to get you out of jail? The mayor's going to make sure you don't do any hard time? So even the criminals know that the mayor will let them get away with this crap. That's crazy.
Released on bail 2 days after his arrest and is now currently wanted on a $200,000 warrant. Officers are actively searching for him. A second suspect was later arrested by police in nearby Redmond. His arrest came after a caller reported that they recognized him from news coverage of the incident. The Redmond, Washington chief of police is touting the use of technology at nabbing their suspects, saying this arrest is the direct result of strong collaboration between agencies and the vigilance of our community. By combining real-time technology with focused investigative work, we are able to identify suspects quickly and hold violent offenders accountable.
So that's what the police chief's saying. Meanwhile, the socialist wet rat woman mayor is shutting down the surveillance because illegal immigrants need their privacy. Great. All right, we got a couple more stories. We had a protester on a bridge. You know, war bad. I'm going to go camp on a bridge. The man who scaled the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge in D.C. finally came down Wednesday morning after he said he ran out of water. The man who identified... Who needs water? You about that life or not? The man who identified himself on social media as Guido Reichstatter had been on the bridge since Friday, May 1st. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So he made it 5 days. I'm still here on the bridge. My water ran out Sunday, and I'm heading down in the morning. He said he's up there posting on X, just camping out on the top of the bridge. He's having an urban adventure.
The protester who climbed the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge says that he is going to stay up there for a little while longer. Here's video of Guido Reichstatter.
It's just some homeless guy.
Still giving the cameras a thumbs up. This is a new video of the climb last week. He climbed up Friday and told us today he is out of both food and water, but he says he can tough it out. We also have new video of him talking to police on the phone about the last time he climbed the bridge in protest.
Were you here last time on the bridge?
Yeah, I'm the same guy.
Same guy, okay. And when was it, 4 years ago?
Correct.
Okay, and what was it? What were you protesting 4 years ago?
BLM.
You can read the news.
What? Okay, what are you protesting this?
It was abortion.
It was abortion.
It was abortion 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it would have 2022 COVID. Oh, Roe v. Wade. That's what it was. Roe v. Wade.
Overturning a Roe versus
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. So what about this year? What about right now?
Men aren't supposed to have opinions about women's bodies, buddy. Why are you protesting on a bridge because women can't kill their baby? I'm gonna make me cuss. I'm about to cuss.
Right now, it is the illegal attack on Iran and the ongoing war.
Okay.
And
Guys,
the fact
war's
that we're
bad.
in an AI crisis.
An AI crisis. We're in an AI crisis, and there's a war in Iran. So I'm gonna go climb up on a bridge, and this shit going viral.
This is a live look at the setup on
That's gonna give him enough money to survive on the streets for the next 4 years, and then he'll have to climb on the bridge again.
the bridge right now. He told us today that he does plan to come down tomorrow.
Wow. All right, and then last, this is from Alex Jones. Major new development: the Turkish government has authorized an archaeological excavation of the resting place of Noah's Ark. So we've been talking about this lately, and
Elijah did this, where they say Moses did that.
We've been talking about this for a while. We've known about the Ark being on Mount Ararat for 60 years. Now we have the new satellite seismic radar technology they're using at the pyramids. They're using it here at Noah's Ark. They're finding what looks like pillars and walls. If you're not up to date on this, and I was saying we need to excavate, but it's hard. We've been trying to do this for decades, and the Turkish government would not allow it. But now that we've got these pictures from satellites, and there's this big thrust, and it's popular in social media, and we have, a president that they can work with. I was saying we need to do a dig, but it's going to be hard to get around the Turkish government. Well, they're saying they have authorized an archaeological excavation of the resting place of Noah's Ark.
Where they say, separate from the Bible, where this Roman historian, where this Greek one said this, they've dug up where Plato said Troy was. It was buried under earthquakes. It's all exact. It's like it just keeps happening. It's crazy. Well, let's look at more shots of it, because it does, from the scan, I mean, it looks like a big boat.
Oh, yes. This would be
and 300 cubits, just like the Bible says.
300 cubits. And even as you're walking up to it, I'm looking forward to this. Andrew's there. He's actually on site. Andrew Jones lives out there.
And you can even see if there was a boat there, all the sediment builds up around it.
Yes, exactly. And there's also leftovers from the years.
Yeah, it's the side angle, the projected side angle. It looks like pillars and walls. Like as the water's receding, they're digging downward and out into the mountain and building rooms underneath the ark and expanding as the water's receded. And they can tell that it's organic matter, like wood beams and wood walls.
Of the tribes that lived in this area, and they would actually draw in stone what appeared to be, again, the story of the ark. These are not Christian, people that live in this region. These are, basically herdsmen, but they are drawing on.
What are they, Kurds or what?
It's a mix of Kurds,
Druze,
and yes, and there's Muslim tribes in the area too, and of course it's in Turkey, and this is along this region. It was essentially the Armenian genocide. You've heard a lot about the killing of the Armenians and pushing out of this territory down to.
And that's why it's so hard for us to get in there and excavate it, is because the Armenians are gone.
Down into Syria. But this region, again, was a lot of goat herders, a lot of farmers. It was agricultural land. But again, this is what Andrew Jones believes is the final resting place of Noah's Ark.
I've believed that my whole life. Anyway, guys, that's it for the rapid fire news. The reels and the rapid fire. Let's move on to some space alien stuff. The space stuff. You guys ready for the space stuff? Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for hanging out. What am I looking for? This. ALIEMS 2026. List of reported UFO sightings. They're going to put Bible verses in here. Let's just skim through this a little bit. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Just a Wikipedia article. So, they call them cigar most commonly reported shapes in UFO sightings. So the cigar shape is what I called the turd shape. The egg, the rectangle, the diamond, the changing. Changing one was weird. Thousands and thousands. Orbs, 29,000 orbs, 20,000 triangles, 10,000 other shapes. Fireballs. We got Liu Kang up here in space. Speaking of Liu Kang, I watched Mortal Kombat 2. Not happy. Gynocentric, woman hero, main character, not Liu Kang, not Sub-Zero, not Scorpion. Johnny Cage, kind of, but he's always been one of my least favorite characters. Main character in this one, Katana. Katana, who wasn't even in Mortal Kombat 1 or 2. She didn't come along till 3, I think. Katana. The stories about Katana, and then the end. Don't you love? I hate to spoil it for you guys, but it's Mortal Kombat. If you don't know how Mortal Kombat goes, then you know what it is. What it is, but just a woman fighting a 300-pound giant. Imagine a woman fighting Brock Lesnar, but she knows karate. It's like, come on, get out of here. Yeah, Sonya's in it, but she's not a main character. She's not the main hero of it. So gay. Katana sucks. I know. Everything's got to be. There's always got to be a woman. Dude, we might have beat the trans stuff and the LGBT stuff. We might have beat it back a little bit, but the feminism is still strong in Hollywood. What do we got? Unidentified flying object. Any aerial object or optical phenomenon not readily identifiable to the observer. UFOs became a major suspect of interest following the development of rocketry after World War II, and they were believed by some researchers to be evidence of intelligent extraterrestrial life visiting Earth. History of flying saucers. Project Blue Book. Yeah, but what about Project Blue Beam? I got some stuff. UFO sightings. I only got like 15 minutes, so we have the report here. This is when they changed it to unidentified aerial phenomenon. I covered this on the show. It was like a year and a half ago. Space lasers. Atlas features new technologies that allow it to collect a more detailed, precise picture of the heights of the planet's ice, vegetation, land surface, water, and clouds. So these are lasers on satellites that are used to do this sonar imaging under the arc, under the pyramids, measure ice caps, measure the waters. But people worry that these photon beams being beamed down by these lasers could be doing some damage. A bright green, fast-firing laser, 10,000 pulses per second, compared to the laser on the first IceSat, which sent 40 pulses per second. With this incredibly fast pulse rate, Atlas takes measurements every 2 to 3 feet along the satellite's ground path. This is the IceSat satellite. So it's beaming lasers down to do measurements and stuff. And then check this out from BBC Science Focus. Some very weird weapons are being launched in space, and that's only the beginning. And this is only what we know about. They got way more crazier stuff than this. Germany announced plans in February to spend tens of billions on euros on new military capabilities. It wasn't just the size of the investment that raised eyebrows. It was how openly officials talked about what the money might buy. Encrypted communication satellite constellations, Inspector spacecraft able to maneuver close to other satellites, sensors, trackers, and even lasers capable of interfering with enemy satellites. For decades, space was viewed as a peaceful backdrop to conflict on Earth. It supported operations below, but was never thought of as a battlefield by most. Not anymore. Now Germany is among a growing list of countries treating space not just as infrastructure, but as a domain that may need to be actively defended, contested, and potentially fought over. And this is why Trump started Space Force. And this is one of the reasons why Trump wants Greenland, to set up a space defense base, a big space defense base. This is why Elon Musk has thousands of satellites in the sky. It's not just for internet. They have satellites with other satellite interfering lasers. They have lasers that can measure and track the ground and the water and the ice and possibly melt the ice. They're building solar panel arrays in space. This is from U.S. Department of Energy, posted 2 days ago, by the way. This is brand new. Space-based solar power. We've known about this for a long time. 1941, science fiction author wrote about it. Currently, they're building solar panel arrays the size of cities in space that gather the sun in space outside of Earth's low Earth orbit, where there's less interruption from the Van Allen radiation belts. They can gather more concentrated, more powerful solar power, and then they beam it down to Earth to receiving plants, and then they pump it out as energy. And they're saying this is the new wave of the future. The way that we're going to do energy in the future is with giant solar panel arrays in the sky that collect the light, beam it down. The problem is, in testing, what they're doing is they're blowing up. These receiving plants are being overloaded, generators start popping, and then fires start. Yep. That's the space lasers. And then the Department of Energy 2 days ago puts out this. Great timing. It's so crazy when I go to look into something that I've talked about for years, and then I find something new. Conveniently, 2 days ago, the Department of Energy puts out this space-based solar power report. Solar power directly from space may arrive sooner than you think. Every hour, more solar energy reaches the Earth than humans use in a year. 30% of this energy is reflected back into space by the atmosphere. Since clouds, atmosphere, and nighttime are absent in space, satellite-based solar panels would be able to capture and transmit substantially more energy than terrestrial solar panels. You guys may have heard me before, and I guarantee you can find it on one of my old shows. I don't have a folder on it because, like I said, I only started saving my folders maybe close to 2 years ago. So I don't have all 4 years of folders since I started doing the show. But I did a show, and I was talking about the solar panels in space and the lasers, the solar lasers. And I found a story, an article, and I had other articles to support it, that said that they were going to build a solar panel array the size of Texas in space. Now I can't find that again. That doesn't exist anymore. If you can find that episode when I was talking about the space lasers, maybe you'll be able to read the articles, but I can't find those articles anymore. I can find a lot of articles that say that they're working on solar panel arrays the size of cities, like city large solar panel arrays. I can't find the one that says they're making one as big as Texas anymore, so I'll stop saying that, and I'll just say the size of cities. But eventually, they're going to have one the size of Texas. Solar panels equipped energy transmitting satellites can collect high-intensity, uninterrupted solar radiation by using giant mirrors to reflect huge amounts of solar rays onto smaller solar collectors. This radiation is often wirelessly beamed to Earth in a safe and controlled way as either a microwave or a laser beam. So they're gathering solar energy in space, and then they beam it as a laser down to Earth. And it's safe. Maybe it's safe now. Was it safe 4 years ago? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Was it safe every time we hear about these strange lasers lighting cities on fires? It's like a magnifying glass, and we're the ants. And now they're just building, with our tax money, they're just building the magnifying glass to cook us all. And that is the pillar of fire that will be used to destroy the earth in fire. That's it right there. Look, they're building the magnifying glass. Satellites would operate as a group. How far out are the laser transmitting satellites? Laser satellite. This is 2 days ago, guys. They posted this 2 days ago. It's not a secret anymore. When I was talking about this 4 years ago, it was still kind of a secret. It's not a secret anymore. I'm not crazy. Let's see. Deep space laser test successfully concluded by NASA.
Did you know NASA streamed a cat video from deep space?
We got taters.
Yeah, taters.
DSOC is the Deep Space Optical Communications Project. It is.
Just kidding. That's not the right kind of space laser video. That's a video of a cat chasing a laser that was streamed from space. But that's not actually the space laser video that I'm thinking of.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of the Von Karman series.
Lasers in space. This is comms.
In February.
Now let's look at some. So we talked about the space lasers. We talked about the UFOs. We talked about the fake aliens. Last but not least, some abduction material. Now, all of these are too long.
I was taken.
1989. A man with the name Alec Newell was abducted by aliens and taken for 10 days to their home world, where they told him the truth about them, showed him amazing technology, and sent him back with a message for all humanity. During those 10 mind-opening...
This is like an hour long. I don't have time to watch all this. Plus, it looks like it might be TV stuff. It might be copyrighted, but we can watch this.
In 1985, I was in bed in the particular house that I recall.
Did they probe you?
With my wife, and we had 2 small children in other bedrooms.
No,
when
I do not have
woke up
a
suddenly and saw bluish light coming from the living room. And then I told my wife I need to check on this. She saw it also. And I was about to get up off the bed and I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. I struggled.
Sounds like a hypnagogic tremor. Sounds like hypnagogia, sleep paralysis. People think that the Hat Man or the demons or the aliens are holding them down to their bed when they have sleep paralysis. It's just hypnagogia, which is the closest state between lucidity and hallucination or dream state. When you're falling asleep, when you're right on the edge between wakefulness and sleep, and you start to have some weird, trippy dreams, but you're like halfway awake when it's happening. That's when people will often get sleep paralysis. And they think it's demons or aliens or the weird Hat Man, but it's just, it's called hypnagogia.
And struggled. I recall.
I took some heavy drugs.
Sweating it out, trying to get my mobility back. I couldn't. Next thing I
believing him at all.
A figure in my doorway of the bedroom.
Yeah, it does.
It was a hooded figure. I couldn't see the face.
I used to have what's called hypnagogic tremors really bad, and I don't anymore, but it sucked. Anytime there was a lady with me in the bed, she'd be freaking out like, what is wrong with you? So every time I'd start to doze off, I'd go, and then I'd doze off and I go, and I'd doze off and I go, and I'd like sit up, breathing deep, freaking out. And then I'd start to fall asleep again, and I'd do it again. And I'd do it 3 to 5 times every night before I would fall asleep. Called a hypnagogic tremor.
Face, or don't recall seeing the face. And after that, there were small beings in the room. They seemed like children to me at the time. This was
why would they pick you?
People were talking about.
Right. They're not gonna kidnap Trump or anybody with power or clout or authority or recognition or popularity or money or success or strength, physical strength, attractiveness, nothing like that. We're just gonna pick Earl in this farmhouse.
A little
probe him up, boys.
Alien grays,
and it's so funny when they say the alien grays. That's from, was it Crowley or somebody said it the other night, and I knew this. But it's from a book that somebody made, and they illustrated, or it was a fiction writer. I forget who it was, but he made a book, Charles Dickens maybe, and he drew the grays, and that became the popularized image for what the aliens look like. And then suddenly all the abduction stories, they start seeing these grays. But before that, they never saw the grays. But then once this image becomes popularized, now everybody sees the grays. That's how you know it's a bullshit story.
I didn't know why children would be in the room, but at one point they lifted me off the bed, not using their hands or anything.
No, I don't have them anymore. I think it was probably due to my lifestyle that I was living was not doing the best things, and I think that's why it would happen, because I don't do it anymore. I sleep like a baby.
Was lifted off the bed, and
I do occasionally have nightmares, and I've woke up punching my wall over my head or my headboard. Like in my sleep, I just punch my headboard, and I wake up and I punch my headboard. I'm like, dang, if I ever get a lady in a bed, she might be in danger while I'm sleeping.
And taken to my bedroom window, which I had locked. I didn't think that you had a...
This is boring. This guy's story sucks. What is this
Last October, in the quiet Mississippi town of Pascagoula, 2 local men confronted authorities with a rather bizarre story.
Not really, but I should. But I've heard that helps with it too, with the dreams, is praying before you go to sleep. And I should. I mean, I lay there, as I'm laying there with my eyes closed, I'm kind of like saying prayers, but I think you should not pray to fall asleep. You should, which is kind of what I do. You should do it while you're sitting up.
Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker told of a strange craft landing near their fishing site.
But do what you want to do. I don't do it. I know I should do that.
Taken aboard by 3 unearthly creatures. The 2 men were questioned under hypnosis and lie detectors, but their story remained intact. One of the men suffered a nervous breakdown and is still under treatment. Among the skeptics were Ralph and Judy Blum, already at work.
All right, come on.
Judy and I stumbled into this book. It came to us to be written. Suddenly we were in a wave of waves. UFOs were being seen across the country again. We were in what they call a flap. And people began experiencing things that they couldn't explain. Something was happening in our skies in the midst of Watergate, Agnew, the energy crisis, the Middle East. Something was happening and people couldn't understand what it was. We spoke about UFOs, but nobody really knew. And then it hit right here where we are. It hit Pascagoula. Charlie Hickson entered the news, and we had a book to write.
Something happened October of '73 that would go down with me. Big eye.
On the other side of the pier with their feet, over toward the river, fishing in the river. And the fish still wasn't biting, so I told Calvin.
It's always some weird, random-ass country dude.
I said, well, we might as well go home. But I guess that was when I heard it. It was some kind of zipping sound. And when I turned around, in this area out here, about 40 or 50 feet out there, there was some kind of craft, it looked like it's going to come right onto the ground. But it came on down and hovered about a foot and a half or 2 feet off of the ground. But we didn't know what to do, the river behind us and that out there not knowing what it was. So, and then before we had time to really do anything, it seemed like an opening appeared. And toward the end, it was, toward us.
Shut up, Bo.
And the blue light, it had blue flashing lights as it was, approaching the ground, but then they went out. And when the opening appeared, some source of light came from the inside. It was just almost blinding.
Sheriff Diamond, can you tell me just what happened that night?
No, sir, I can't. All I can tell you is there was 2 men came into the sheriff's department approximately.
All I know is I was just at my sheriff department and 2 guys came in and said it's all space aliens. I didn't see nothing.
8:30 and 9 o'clock. They were all excited, upset, wanting to climb the walls, hysterical, crying. That's actually all I know is what happened. I mean, as far as me seeing what happened, I don't know.
Well, Joe Rogan had a guy on his podcast, and he talked about that, or this Air Force jet pilot. He said if they saw there was a campfire in the woods at night, just some people down camping, they could take the jet and cut all the lights off and drop down real low, and then come up and turn all the thrusters on and go back up. And then they turn all the lights on and the thrusters on. It looks like a freaking spaceship came down and just went boom and disappeared into the sky. So the people think they saw aliens, but they just saw the Air Force messing with them, trolling them.
Of course, we could see them in the opening coming from, you know, when it started out to craft. But
Did you think it was people coming out at first?
Well, they had. I kind of thought it was people at first, you know, off like that. But of course, when they appeared there in front of me, it was the most shock I've ever had in my life.
What did you see?
Well, they were shorter than me. I'd say about 5'2".
They were skinny, but they had big gray heads and big black eyes.
2 or 3, and they didn't have a neck. They had, it seemed to come directly to their shoulders. And they had something, it came out to a point about where a nose would be, and on each side the ears. And I believe that they looked like they were a little longer on the ears than the nose.
But still pointed the ears.
They were still pointing, yes.
But since
Well, at least his description isn't just a typical grays.
I was down there, and since
like he just made some shit up just now.
I was a physician, and several other scientists and investigators were asked to consult and look into the situation. I was asked if would I mind if I would be present, and I said I wouldn't mind at all. And while it is still very difficult for us to believe that a spaceship landed and that robot-type creatures came out and actually took these two people into the spaceship, these men, in my opinion, believe that they saw this and that they were being honest in reporting what they have reported.
But it seemed to me when they came out that doorway, or that opening, or whatever it was, then just almost instantly they were right there on us.
What the hell is that?
And their arms, they had arms, and I saw the arms moving here and in the shoulders, but they had webbed. I mean, their fingers were webbed, and then they had something like a thumb, and they were like this.
Mm-hmm. We questioned them at length, and then we left the room and recorded all the conversation they had. Recorded between the two of them.
Yeah, Hollywood is doing it. Let's see this one.
The most frustrating thing for individuals who claim they've been abducted is that most often nobody believes them.
Yeah.
Where psychiatrists or other professionals tell them that it is all in their imagination. But what happens when more than one person experiences the same phenomena? They cannot all be accused of imagining or dreaming their strange event. At this stage, he had become so frightened that he'd squatted down to avoid detection. Chris looked around for any means of escape, but as he looked back up, the sky appeared to open up like a zip, and then a third object had joined the other two, and at that very moment, he knew that he'd been seen by them. He was now so fearful that he suddenly found himself running, and eventually made his way back to the other men, and proceeded to tell them what he'd just experienced. His friends claimed that they'd been looking for him for hours, but to Chris, he felt he'd only been gone for about 20 minutes. He later found that he'd been missing for 4 hours. Chris asked where his son Chris Jr. was, and his friends said that he'd gone out looking for him. Chris then went in search of him and eventually found it in a panicked state, where he too would
all of this is just going to be hearsay. And then two people happen to share a similar memory. Well, it's because they're going to be influenced by popular media, and they're going to have shared stories because we all have this idea of what an alien abduction would be like. I expect anal probes happen on them.
Experienced unusual happenings. His son claims to have come upon 2 small beings who appeared to be red and glowing, wearing what looked like swimming goggles, and were about 3 feet tall. His son claims that as he was observing the aliens picking up cans and bottles, they suddenly spotted him. Then one of the aliens just stared at him, whereupon Chris Jr. suddenly became paralyzed. He could not even scream. He claims his paralysis had stopped when the aliens must have seen the headlights of his father's truck. Chris and his son then made their way back to the other men, where everyone appeared wide-eyed and shocked. Suddenly, one of the men looked up and shouted that the sky was now full of at least 9 round objects.
Yeah, I'll probably order it next week, but then I don't know how long it's going to take to get here.
All slowly maneuvering around each other.
And then once it gets
3
here,
of the objects landed on the other side.
Once it gets here, it's probably going to sit for a little while before I put it together. That's always how it happens, because it's going to be a damn project. Large probes, because that's where we hold our info. Yeah, we hold so much info in our anus that the aliens always have to anal probe us. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, I got to head out. I got to get out of here and get ready for work. 4 years of the Dreaded Conservative show. 4 years. We got to get this show on the map, guys. We got to get it popping off more, okay? So make sure, if you like it, you tell a friend. And if you hate it, you tell everybody, guys. We talked about the space aliens. You know, we've had 4 great years. We're going to have 4 more. We're going to keep it going. On the schedule this week, tomorrow morning, probably no stream. I'm going to do some final last-minute debate stuff. My opening's written. My research is pretty much done. I'm just going to write a few more notes on a few things and then think of some good questions and some good arguments, write those down, maybe work on a little idea for a closing tomorrow morning. So we won't be doing anything in the morning. But Wednesday, I mean, I could maybe do a Bible stream tomorrow. We'll see. But for sure, Wednesday, we'll be debating Avarice about what is the most dangerous cult. Is the most dangerous cult the Mankind Project? Or is it a different cult that I'll be talking about? I'll be talking about a lot of cults, but which cult is the most dangerous? We'll find out on Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, we'll do some Bible, and maybe we can get through I'd like to actually do one tomorrow morning so that we can get through the Old Testament this week. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty tired right now, so I don't know. But thank you guys for hanging out. Dreaded Conservative show, Monday night, kicking the week off right. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. God bless. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. I forgot to find a raid. Let me find a raid. Raid time. Let's see. Who's live right now? Simple definition of a cult: if they lie about Jesus. What did Joe Rogan say? A cult is when a made-up religion by a man a religion is when that man is dead. Abe Dinkus. Jesus, normal Rob. Pep talks. We'll go to Abe. All right. We're going to Abe Dinkus. Avarice loud, inciting talking. Counter Avarice is loud and exciting talking with the calmness. I'll try, but I might get triggered and we might just start yelling at each other. Who knows? We'll see. Have fun at Abe's stream. God bless you guys. I will catch you Wednesday again at the latest. Maybe before then. Make sure you got the bell on. I'll see you guys later. Peace.